At the birth of a nation, under the shadow of war and uncertainty, a figure emerged who would become not only the first president of the United States, but a model of Stoic leadership. George Washington, a man of action and principle, found in Stoic philosophy a guide to forging a country and his own life. As we explore the influence of Stoicism on the life of George Washington, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes full of history and wisdom. Subscribe now and be part of our community of curious people. In the quiet library of Mount Vernon, George Washington, still young but already marked by the responsibilities of leadership, immerses himself in reading ancient texts. The works of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, philosophers who preached self-discipline and emotional control, are open to him. These Stoic principles not only offer Washington personal guidance, but also an ethical framework to confront the crises of his time. By adopting these teachings, Washington cultivated a meditative and deliberate posture, traits that would define his leadership both on the battlefield and in the presidency. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Washington reflects on these words, finding in them a call to inner control and serenity. In a turbulent world, full of challenges, he recognizes that clarity and mental strength are his most faithful allies. In this silent chamber, surrounded by books containing centuries of wisdom, Washington prepares not only for the impending battles, but for the trials he will face as he guides a fledgling nation. Every page you read, every thought you assimilate, becomes a pillar in the construction of your character and your destiny. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. In the bitter winter of Valley Forge, under an undisturbed sky and silently watching stars, George Washington walks slowly between the rows of snow-covered tents. His figure, wrapped in a thick coat, casts a long shadow on the white surface. The conditions are extreme, and the cold seeps into the bones of every soldier. However, in this scenario of adversity, Washington remains serene, a living reflection of the Stoic philosophy that he studies and admires so much. Every step he takes, every word of encouragement he offers his men, are not just acts of a commander, but manifestations of a leader who sees beyond temporary suffering to a greater purpose. We can endure much more than we imagine, he tells them, reminding them that the strength of the spirit can overcome the adversities of the body. As night closes in around the camp, Washington faces the challenge of not only keeping morale high, but also reinforcing in his troops the mental resilience that Stoicism teaches. Our suffering is temporary, but our cause is eternal, he muses aloud as he watches his men, each struggling in their own way against discouragement. In this bleak environment, Washington becomes the beacon of hope and determination for his men. Their leadership is shaped not only by strategy and tactics, but by a deep Stoic conviction that human character, forged in the flames of trial, emerges stronger and purer. And so, with the philosophy of the ancients as his guide, the first president of the United States shapes not only the destiny of a nation, but the soul of its people. In the solemnities of his presidential office, George Washington faces the monumental challenge of leading a newly formed nation. With Stoic principles as his guide, he approaches each decision with a measured and thoughtful approach. The office, soberly furnished and decorated with maps and documents of the young republic, is a testament to the seriousness of his position. In the midst of political debates and critical decisions, Washington remains unfazed. His ability to remain calm under pressure and manage emotions effectively is a clear manifestation of his adherence to Stoic philosophy. Let us act not on impulse, but on principle, he advises his advisors as they assess a tense diplomatic situation. Washington's leadership is a balance between pragmatism and Stoic ideality. He understands that the true strength of a leader lies not only in the actions he takes, but in the passions he masters. The righteousness of our actions is what defines our legacy, he reflects as he composes a speech that will shape the nation's future. Washington seeks not only to lead by example, but also to instill in his people the importance of self-management and personal responsibility. His government, marked by temperance and justice, is a mirror of his Stoic convictions. Every law enacted and every treaty signed are testaments to his belief in virtue and ethics as pillars of society. In this space of power, Where every decision carries historical weight, George Washington stands firm on his Stoic principles, demonstrating that even at the pinnacle of power, integrity, and self-restraint are the true marks of a leader. As the sun sets behind the vast fields of Mount Vernon, George Washington walks slowly across the grounds of his beloved residence. This time of retirement is not only a respite from public service, but an opportunity to reflect on the years spent building a nation. The calm nature and broad horizons serve as a mirror to him, reflecting the lessons and challenges of his life under the influence of Stoicism. Washington, now in the twilight of his career, considers how the principles of self-discipline and internal control not only shaped his leadership, but also how they might serve to guide future generations. May posterity judge my leadership with the serenity of the Stoic principles that I have tried to embody, he thinks as his gaze disappears into the horizon. In the calm of his study, surrounded by books and writings, Washington spends time writing his memoirs and letters, each word imbued with Stoic wisdom. He reflects on the importance of virtue and justice, pillars that, according to him, should support the republic he helped found. His pen, steady yet weary, writes of the need for integrity and moral courage in the face of adversity. As night falls on Mount Vernon, Washington's legacy as a beacon of Stoic principles is further cemented. His life was not only that of a leader and a president, but also that of a philosopher in action, whose decisions were deeply rooted in ethical reflection and continuous self-improvement. In the stillness of this historic night, George Washington prepares to rest, knowing that his commitment to Stoicism has left an indelible mark not only on his life, but on the soul of a developing nation. Stoicism, with its call for serenity and reason, continues to resonate, teaching that even in power, true greatness is measured by the quality of character and the justice of actions. As the curtain closes on the life and legacy of George Washington, we reflect on his deep connection to Stoicism and how this philosophy shaped not only his leadership, but also the course of an emerging nation. Through the scenes of his life, from the cold nights at Valley Forge to the deliberate moments in his presidential office, Washington embodied the virtues of wisdom, courage, and temperance that define a true Stoic. His resilience in the face of adversity, his unflappability in the face of challenges, and his tireless pursuit of justice and equity are lessons that transcend time. In times of uncertainty, his figure stands as a beacon of unwavering principles, inspiring leaders and citizens alike. Stoicism, with its call for reason and serenity in the face of misfortune, offers eternal guidance. In today's world, filled with tumult and rapid change, Washington's teachings on self-control and integrity of character remain relevant, reminding us that true strength comes from our ability to face life with poise and composure. George Washington was not only a founding father of the United States, he was a philosopher in action, whose life is a testimony to the power of Stoic philosophy and practice. His legacy invites us to seek virtue in our own lives and to lead with a commitment to the greater good. And so, as the pages of his history continue to inspire generations, George Washington remains not only a historical figure, but an eternal mentor in the art of principled living and governing. In times of crisis or calm, his life remains a moral compass for all those who seek wisdom and perseverance and peace and strength. George Washington's legacy lives on, a powerful reminder of how Stoic principles can guide not only individuals, but an entire nation toward a future of resilience and dignity. If you are intrigued by the stories of leaders who have forged their character through philosophy and leadership, subscribe to our channel. You will receive updates on our latest documentaries that unravel the values and challenges that have shaped the world. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss a moment of inspiration. Subscribe and join us on this journey through history.